This now brings us to page 5, as we will continue seeing the laws of forgiveness, in which page 4 contain all the verses of forgiveness which one can seek, highlighted in green and so on, among the 65 times as the form 1, verb rafara, to forgive. We will see the rest of the derived forms later, inshallah. So here on page 5, you have the 40 times as the form 10, verb istaghfara, ask or seek forgiveness, and below it, the 28 times as the noun maghfira, forgiveness. Starting with the 28 times as the noun maghfira, forgiveness. These are all the verses in the Quran that forgiveness is mentioned. In here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us of he or she that deserves his forgiveness. Those are the verses that are highlighted in turquoise here. Now pay attention to these golden verses. Surah 3 verse 133 and Surah 57 verse 21. So first Surah 3 verse 133. And hasten towards forgiveness from your Lord and a garden or paradise. Its width is the heavens and the earth, prepared for the God-fearing or God-conscious. Then Surah 57 verse 21. Be foremost, sabiqu, towards forgiveness from your Lord and a garden or paradise. Its width is like the width of the heaven and the earth, prepared for those who believe in Allah and His Messenger. That is the bounty of Allah. He gives it to whomever He wills, and Allah is the possessor of the tremendous bounty. These two verses both describe two different gardens, paradises. As I said in the beginning of this video, there are two paradises, and in Surah 3 verse 133, you have the dimensions of the paradise for the companions of the right, Ashabul Maymana, and for the foremost of the foremost, Sabiqun as-Sabiqun. The dimensions of their paradise is in Surah 57, Hadith, verse 21. Thus, forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes with a paradise that is absolutely beyond our imagination, and it is worth hastening for, and inshallah, being foremost. But if you look at the verse before Surah 57 verse 21, verse 20, which reminds us of this life as a delusion, as follows. Know that the worldly life is but a play or game, and an amusement, an adornment, and boasting between you, and a proliferation, which is a rapid increase in numbers, of wealth and children. The example is like a rain whose vegetation impresses the disbelievers, then it withers, dries, and you see it turning yellow, then it becomes broken orts, debris. And in the hereafter there is a severe punishment and forgiveness from Allah and good pleasure or approval. However, the worldly life is but the joy of delusion. Thus, forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be a priority to seek. That is highlighted in yellow here as an alert, and so are the other verses highlighted in yellow. Please read them. Note Surah 2 verse 268 here. Satan promises you poverty and commands you to the immorality, while Allah promises you forgiveness from him and bounty. And Allah is encompassing, knowing. Hence, Satan is inviting us to hell, and Allah invites us to paradise and forgiveness, just like it says at the end of this verse, Surah 2 verse 221 here. Now these two verses that are highlighted in green give us an important insight of attaining forgiveness. You can only warn him who follows the remembrance and who fears the most gracious spirit of Rahman in the unseen. So give him the good tidings of forgiveness and an honorable reward. Indeed, those who fear their Lord in the unseen, for them is forgiveness and an honorable reward. Fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the unseen is a trait of those attaining forgiveness and an honorable reward, paradise. Finally, what is in dark green here is an allegorical description of paradise in Surah Muhammad 47 verse 15. And that covers the noun maghfirah, forgiveness, which is important to have in mind, inshallah. The subject of forgiveness will be ending with the 40 times as the form 10 verb istaghfara, ask or seek forgiveness here above. But before we see that, you may have noticed that there are these two stars here. They are indicating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's different attribute or name with forgiveness. In Surah 13 verse 6, He is surely possessor of forgiveness, and in Surah 74 verse 56, the source of the forgiveness. Thus, before concluding the topic of forgiveness, here above, we will see all the places that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the forgiving in the Quran. Page 6, and then back to page 5 and finish seeing the 40 times as the form 10 verb istaghfara, ask or seek forgiveness, inshallah. So here on page 6, you have all 91 occurrences of the nominal Rafu, forgiving, in the Quran. Indeed, the Quran is surely fully detailed, mufassala, and incredibly rich in knowledge. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.